Welcome to episode 177 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer. And the Marky Mark to my funky bunch, Matt Bowden.
That one
Good
sucks.
to be here. Good morning, guys.
Well, here's the thing, though, trying to bring the argument back around to my side.
Matt, you totally fucked that up.
You just joined my team.
Because what he said when he said, Marky Mark to my funky bunch,
There's nothing wrong with that.
you should have said, come on. Feel it. That's what you should have said.
I like that. Yeah, Marky Mark to the Funky Bunch is fine. I'll take that by itself. It doesn't need anything else. Everybody knows the song. I don't need to help them out.
I thought about saying the Donnie
Black,
to
white,
my
red,
Mark.
Brown, feel the vibrations. There's not a lyric in the song I don't know, but there's no point for me to tell everybody
I
that.
thought about saying the Donnie to my Mark, but I didn't want to do that because I want to bring the argument back around to me.
You know, this week I had a really hard time not blowing up our Twitter feed from my own Twitter with just New Kids on the Block quotes, just nonstop. I had a real hard time just to prove how wrong you are about the Superior
Wahlberg. If you're confused about what we're talking about, you need to go check out at @game_stitch on Twitter, and you'll see
Episode
the argument
176. Yeah,
that occurred.
I like to think of it as a conversation.
It's not typically a conversation when one side is clearly right, as I am.
well, that's debatable.
Yeah.
Right.
So, not financially, it's not.
You
I'll
and
just
I
tell you
have
that.
very different.
If you want to look up some net worth.
I don't need to.
Yeah, you're
one's
right.
Married
You don't
to Jenny
need
McCarthy, and one's jaying off every day
You
by
don't
himself.
need to. If you want to lose this fight, you don't need to check
That's
that.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I heard John Wayne Gacy was pretty successful in his own right, too.
Holy shit.
So, I don't know that money is necessarily the perfect way to measure success.
And this penis-eating German dude that Ryan's been telling us about all morning.
That's a true story, man. Do some Googling.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's no way that's true.
It's true. He fried a penis and he ate it.
Why would he fry it? I understand
How would you
why he fried
prepare
it,
it?
actually. Yeah, everything fried is good.
Yeah,
if I had to eat a penis, I would fry it first just to make sure.
Fried or grill it, but you're not broiling that thing.
Probably
Right, you're not like boiling it in water or anything.
Oh my gosh, no.
Well, you can boil up
Yeah.
a sausage.
You shouldn't though.
You shouldn't, though. You should butter fry them in a pan.
Not true. Polar
Or
sausage
deep
should
fry 'em
always
in
be
oil.
prepared boiled.
No.
Nope. Butter fry it in a pan, and then if you want to boil it, go right ahead, but you butter fry it
The
first.
only reason, no, you're backwards on that. The only reason you should
yeah,
boil
that's
it is
right,
if
'cause
you're
you
going to
want it
toss it in a
crispy.
pan or on a grill after, and you just want to
That's
make sure
right.
the insides are done.
Yeah, you want that crispy skin.
A little snap when you bite into a little pop. Explosion of flavors in your mouth.
Sounds good already. I think I want hot dogs today.
Yeah. I'm having brats for dinner.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
I know a place to get a good Polish sausage. I think I might go have that.
Man,
Dude, there's nothing like penis-shaped foods, honestly.
bananas,
No matter how...
sausages.
Yeah, dude, they're the best. If it's shaped like a penis, it's probably great
Corn
and everybody
dogs.
enjoys it.
Push-ups.
Right, or, I mean, like, if you really want to get into the debate of micro penises, like French fries, like really thin, like anything that's long and tube resembles slightly a tube is
Tubular.
great for you. Great for you. Now, I just had a great idea. Let me throw this out there. So the concept of the French fry is that you want, like, finger or smaller sized pieces of potato that have been fried. What if you just made a hot dog sized French fry? Like a really large tater tot, I guess is what I'm envisioning. Is that best of both worlds?
I don't think so, because what people want is the crispy from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking that away and giving them too much insides.
Yeah, I guess. The tater tot, yeah.
It's the
no, you're
texture
right.
combination that people they go wild for.
Because the hash brown, I think, is the pinnacle. Where you get all that crispy, and then
With
right in
that
the center you get
buttery
some mushy
gooiness
potato.
inside.
Yeah. You're
Now,
right.
do you have a preference on shape for your hash brown? Do you want legitimate hash browns, or do you
scattered, son? If you don't get them scattered, you're
do you
a
like a
goddamn
hash brown
communist.
cake
Mm-mm.
popularized
want,
by
like,
the fast food
just-
joints?
No, I mean I will eat them like that, like a McDonald's hash brown.
Mm-hmm.
How many will they sell me for $10? That's how many I want. But if you want to ask me, like, if I'm going out to get hash browns, if I'm craving hash browns, what's in my mind? It's Waffle House, scattered, capped, covered, smothered, all that shit. I want it all.
Scattered and smothered.
I want them,
Sure.
but I just want the loose potatoes on the grill.
I get them with cheese and jalapeno, whatever that is. Smothered in something.
It's smothered in whatever jalapeno is. I don't know.
Smothered in man shit.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you who's got the good... If we're talking cakes, if we're talking hash brown cakes, Bojangles has really good ones. They're fatties. You only get like 5 of them, and they're big. They're like golf ball sized flats. But they don't salt them hardcore, which is why I like them.
Oh, no.
McDonald's has like a shaker of salt on each one.
Yeah, but McDonald's has that right combo of crispy.
They got a good
if you
crunch,
can get them
yeah.
when they're crispy, yeah.
But
if
I think
you can get them when they're fresh.
I think you should try the Bojangles.
All right, there's one on the way to work. I'll hit up Bojangles.
Yeah, just get you a country ham biscuit with hash browns.
Right, I'll stop by. I'll grab that on the way to the hospital
and get a
for
cheer
my
wine
first
to drink.
Heart attack. No, I'll never drink cheer wine. That's just for you.
Get a cheer wine because they're the only restaurant that
whoever else bought stock in cheer wine when you did back in 1982.
It's the only
gives
place
a shit about that
serves it on the fountain. Just get cheer wine.
No, no. I'd rather meet some guy from Craigslist and let him cut my penis off and fry it, and I'll stay awake to eat part of it too.
Cheer wine's
That's
good.
how much I don't like cheer wine.
Have you had it?
Yeah, I've had.
I don't
a sip.
think
It
you
tastes
have.
like it tastes like dog piss and cherry
Have you had
Coke
cheer
mixed
wine?
together.
What?
Have you had cheer wine?
No.
Have you ever had Robitussin mixed down very lightly with cherry Coke? Because it tastes exactly the fucking same.
It's nothing like that.
It tastes exactly like that.
Cheer wine's good.
Is it really that syrupy?
It tastes.
No,
It's not. No, it tastes like Robitussin and cherry Coke mixed together. Though it's fucking disgusting.
I like Robitussin.
It's
there you go.
It's the consistency. It's the consistency of Coke, but it's got this medicine-y taste to it.
I love cough medicine.
God damn it! Who are you two?
It's my drug of choice.
Jesus
If I-
Christ.
Well, I'm
Or
going to the cheer
drug-doing
wine Wikipedia
person.
so I can get you some info.
I'm an alcoholic because you two are my friends. So I want you to know that.
All right. Cheer
Is that
wine
why?
is a cherry-flavored soft drink produced by the Carolina Beverage Corporation of Salisbury, North Carolina. It has been produced since 1917 as the oldest continuing soft drink company still run by the same family.
Boom. You got
It's
history
good.
there.
Let me tell you
Doesn't
what they
mean anything.
make.
Cheer wine.
Cheer wine, diet cheer wine,
Okay.
caffeine-free diet cheer wine,
Oh hell.
retro cheer wine, and the
Retro?
holiday
What's
cheer
that?
wine punch.
What's retro?
What's
cheer
retro?
wine? What's retro?
I don't know. But they like cheer wine. It's good. Get you some.
Nope. No, thank
I
you.
like Tussin too, though. So,
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I love
but it's
cough
frowned
medicine.
upon to be just drinking that while you walk around.
NyQuil. I like NyQuil too. I love the taste of NyQuil. So good.
You
You
guys
ever
are
pour some
maniacs.
NyQuil in an energy drink to see what your body will do with it?
No, I don't feel like that would end good.
I don't know. I've never tried it.
Maybe. Next time I have a couple days off, maybe I'll give that a shot and see what happens.
What do they call that? Does that have a name?
I mean,
if
it's-
not, maybe we should name that. I might just come up with something.
It's Memorial Day weekend, dude. When else are you going to have 2 days off
I have
back
no
to
idea what
back?
to call it.
Dan probably doesn't.
What?
Are you off 2 days?
Yeah.
Not you.
Me? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do it now.
I'm not doing
dude.
it now. No, I have a party today. I don't feel like.
Dude, what? That's that's the perfect excuse.
Take the
Start
medicine
slamming
side
it now,
out, too.
dude.
Slam a Red Bull with some ZQuil
Jeez.
and just see what the fuck your body figures out
No,
to
no,
do.
it's got to be the basics. So it's just got to be Red Bull and NyQuil. None of the additives. None of that. It's just got to be.
The
straight
ZQuil is just NyQuil without the
straight
medicine
Red Bull.
portion. It's just a
Okay,
sleepy
but
time.
I think no, but the medicine portion is necessary.
Non-have it for me. By the makers of NyQuil.
So
ZQuil.
then I can have a new drink and figure out what to call it.
It's got to have something that represents both up and down. Maybe the roller coaster.
It does, yeah. Maybe what's the name of that? How about the slingshot?
Yeah.
Sure. Or the cannonball, the one that goes forwards and then runs backwards.
Yeah, Cannonball sounds like it'd be something else, though. Slingshot's like, what the fuck am I getting into?
Right, exactly. That sounds exciting.
Slingshot, to me, I think of an actual slingshot, though, where you just, like, put a rock in a thing and shoot it one direction.
Ooh, One Direction makes me think of the band.
No,
Yeah.
see, when I say slingshot, I'm thinking of the ride at amusement parks,
Right.
where it shoots,
Yeah.
where you like go up really
I
slowly.
do think of the like shooting marbles though.
Right, what a slingshot's been for 355 million
Down and
years.
up.
Not the ride that came out 15 years ago.
Okay, well, I don't give a fuck because I'm naming the fucking drink.
I'm just saying, dude.
I came up with the drink.
Yes, and I'm
I should
naming
get
it.
the
oh my
name it.
god.
Drinks are like stars.
What are you gonna name it then?
You did your part.
I think I'm gonna go with the roller coaster.
The roller coaster is nice and simple. Lots of ups and downs. I like
Yeah,
the roller
but it
coaster.
doesn't.
It's a
I
good
don't
name.
know. There's so many roller coasters that it doesn't bring out any element of excitement for me.
Well, yeah, but you just start with the basic roller coaster, and then if you want to like call it the Hangman, then you can put some extra stuff in it.
Or the Hulk
But-
if you want to drop some green food coloring in there. It probably would
Right,
have a
but-
green tint anyways with a NyQuil.
Right, but to start off, it's just the roller coaster, and then you start getting crazy.
What color
you
is
drop
Red Bull?
a-
Like a yellowish clear?
Yeah, it's like piss.
It's an
Yeah.
it's an odd clear yellow. Real
Yeah, you
white
drop NyQuil
yellow.
in that thing, I bet it's got a fucking sweet ass green hue.
Might have to check that out.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hulk's unpredictable. You could just call it the Hulk.
I think that's a drink already.
It is a drink already.
All right, probably. I don't know.
I don't think that'll work.
If it's not a Jack and Coke, I really don't know what it is.
Oh, hey, Mr. Sophisticated. Sitting around smoking
I
your
don't-
pipe and your fucking pretty
Smashing
little
old
slippers.
fashions, yeah.
I would say a Jack and Coke is not sophisticated. It's about the easiest thing to get in the world.
Right behind heroin.
Everybody knows how to make one. It's Jack Daniels and Coke. Nothing special.
Matt just
And
hangs
when you
out
say
in his
Coke, do you
fucking
mean
PJs
cheer
and
wine?
robe in his library at night, smoking a pipe and drinking a Jack and Coke.
I mean, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, a Jack and Coke, 2 ice cubes.
Do you have a corn cob pipe?
I don't have any pipe. Smoking's fucking disgusting, and you shouldn't do it.
No, he's got that fucking. He's got a fucking Sherlock Holmes pipe. That big creep.
God damn,
That big thing.
I would like to have
swings
that
way
just
down.
like sitting on the like
it
sitting on the
hand-carved?
mantle that I don't have. Yeah, out of like a human's thigh bone,
Ooh.
like some real shit.
Wow.
They got weird.
Well, we need a fried dick though, huh? But you'll smoke a bone.
I mean, I won't do either.
Speaking of smoking bones, I played some Downwell this week.
All right,
I don't want to talk about it.
okay. How is it?
It's-
Tell me everything because I haven't purchased it yet, and you're about the 9,000th person to
I'm
tell me
upset
how
that you haven't
awesome
purchased
it, is.
it yet.
Fine, dude, I'm gonna get it right now. Shut the fuck up.
So, it's simple. It's you take an endless runner style game. It's a roguelike sort of. You have the procedurally generated little well that you're falling down, but it's simple. It controls like Meat Boy. It's fast. I don't know. There's just something like addicting about wanting to do better. Because an average game probably lasts less than 2.5 minutes. For me. I mean, maybe I'm just bad at it, but I don't know. It's just simple, and it's $5. It's cross-buy, not cross-play, just cross-buy for the PlayStation. I think it also came out on Xbox One. It's been out on phone and PC for a while now. But there's just something unique about it. It's original. It's fun. It's I don't know. It's everything a $5 game should be, in my opinion. And I don't know about you, Dan, but you have the Vita, so I would make a case for you too.
Does it seem like my kind of game though?
Not really,
Right.
but the idea that you can play on the shitter, it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this
It
is a
looks-
poop game like I've never seen before.
It looks fine, but I just don't know where I'm at.
But I can
I'm
see
sure-
Matt
I'm sure
just,
I'll get it.
just being frustrated and just continuing to try to beat where my score is at.
Right.
It very much seems like that kind of game where you can shoot a text and be like, I made it to this level, and make me want to go home and try to make it farther than that.
What was it that we used to play that was like that?
So one more line?
One more
Oh
line.
my
That was
God.
fantastic. This
Those
feels like the
dudes
kind of
are
game where you can
killing
start
it.
a friendly competition where we wouldn't have to play against each other, and because it only takes a few minutes to play, like anytime you had a couple minutes, you could play and try to one up somebody. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just really good.
Is that all you played this week?
I played the usual suspects, but that's the new thing I wanted to chat about because
Yeah.
I think it's worth. I think Matt is 100%. I don't think that you would love it. Did you like Rogue Legacy, Dan?
I'm going to say not really, because if I have to think about it, then probably not.
It's a lot of repetition like that, playing through the same 3 levels constantly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
But just that idea of like going further and
I'm
like,
I'm not an endless runner guy either, so.
And that's probably a bad description. It's just the way it works. Like you go level to level, and all you're basically doing
but
is
it's
falling.
just a constant scroll down, and
I mean, you could take a break if you wanted and sit on a platform, but you're not progressing when you're doing that. But I'd say a board takes like 30 to 45 seconds to complete. And you get upgrades through each level, and then those carry over. So you could have 3 and 4 upgrades by the time you get deep in it.
I was thinking about it, and then the more you started telling me about it, and the more I started reading about it, I was like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like I got better things to do with $5.
But it really controls like Meat Boy, so it's fast.
I can buy 2 candy bars.
Yeah, it also looks like an old school NES title.
Yeah, it does. It's also got badass filters. You can make it look like a Game Boy or a Virtual Boy, and then it's got all these other overlays that are just pastels. And
yeah, so I went ahead and I just bought it. I'll be downloading it when the show's over.
Good. I think you're gonna be happy with that choice, and I think I want to know what some of the levels look like past where I'm at, and I want to watch videos.
Okay.
I want to have convo, old school style. Remember those days where we used to come in and talk about how far we've made it, and like talk about how we did it, and what we're stuck on. Like that's just kind of gone away with the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, these the visual things are pretty fucking cool. I like that. Yeah, this is definitely my kind of game, man. It feels like an old retro game that I would have played when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I grabbed that. I really want to grab Ninja Turtles, but I know that it's going to be $29.99 next week, and so I'm just going to wait. Platinum games always drop by half price after 2 or 3 weeks, so I'll just wait. Transformers did it. I'm sure Turtles will do it. I'll just wait till then and then go get my discount on Amazon or Best Buy.
I want it also.
And
I want it also.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I mean, I think that'd be a great game for us to play together. It's 4-player co-op.
Yeah. And, I haven't played much this week. I hopped on last night while you guys were playing Rocket League, and we were talking, and we ran into that problem of you guys were playing 2v2 and 3v3, and then, like, I don't want to play Rocket League, but I understand what you've been saying, that, like, we know too many people if we're all on at once to enjoy Rocket League together in a competitive manner that doesn't piss each other off.
Right.
And so I ended up playing WWE while you guys played Rocket League, and while that was fun, and we were able to laugh and cut up and have fun, I kept thinking, like, man, if we all had Ninja Turtles or something like that, where we could all just jump in and co-op.
Well, I kept thinking you and Dan might jump into Uncharted, because Dan wasn't playing Rocket League either.
No.
Well, I thought if I jumped into Uncharted, I would just end up playing Uncharted by myself.
Yeah, well, I thought you guys might jump in that multiplayer, and then when we got closer to finishing up, everybody might jump over to Uncharted and play a few.
Yeah, nobody said anything about Uncharted, so I just left it alone. And
I've been playing the story all day,
so
I was a little Uncharted overload.
How far along are you?
I'm like midway through chapter 12 now.
Okay.
Which is the best chapter. That's the one with the where they get to the island. And I mean, that's pretty much all you can say. But that, to me, that's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of exploring around the islands, but I think I'm probably about midway through that chapter. But yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I did play, which I think we were on chat whenever it was happening, Dan. But I did play a little more than I was. I had been pacing myself really well, but I kind of got.
You got
yesterday.
overloaded.
I really played.
Yeah, because it was 2 nights ago, I think.
Yeah, I played probably 4 hours yesterday morning, 5 hours.
But 2 nights ago, you were. I'm going to finish this chapter, and then you just kept going.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday was a little disappointing because that's not how I wanted to play it. Like, I've been really wanting to savor it, but I got fucking stupid yesterday.
It's fine. It happens.
Yeah, but I think you're making a good pace. But to me, it seems like you're playing more now at the pace of the game than you have been, which is good.
But I think the game is pacing up too.
Yes.
So as it starts to pace up, I paced up naturally with it, which is neat. But I also
you have to control yourself with it,
right? Because I easily could have just went ahead and just played it all day yesterday.
Yeah,
I wanted to.
But Madagascar kind of. When you start the chase in Madagascar, you start to play it like you're chasing something, and so like I get that.
It really,
it really amps it up. And once you hit
Madagascar really becomes Uncharted.
Yeah, exactly. That's when the adventure really starts. Everything else is exposition and an explanation as to why Sam is cool and why Nate's a piece of shit, and all this other stuff that is integral to the back half of the game working the way that it does. So
I would think by next week we'll be able to do a spoiler cast for it.
Or just talk about it on the podcast because the whole world has finished it already.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go too just in depth for the people who haven't still, so we may just tack it on the end of the normal podcast.
I can do whatever I want to because I'm a grown-up.
And just explore the story.
I'll spoil it right now. I will spoil it right now.
If I want to, I will.
Yep.
You guys trying to prove something? Or
Han Solo died.
Right, dude, Yep. Han Solo dead. Nothing left to prove, Dan. It's out on goddamn Blu-ray. If you haven't seen it yet, it's your own fault.
He got killed by his son.
Yeah.
Boom.
Blood owl. Ryan quit just now.
Ryan get mad now because I spoiled Star Wars for him?
Just waiting for you guys to be done.
That's it. That was it.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
So at some point we'll talk about Uncharted, or not, apparently.
No, I think whenever you finish it, we'll just tack one on at the end. Everybody, I say everybody, the 4 people that listen every week, I'm sure they want to know what you thought about it, being a huge fan. I'm curious to know how you feel the series resolves, how that settles with you. So
I feel like we're going to have very different opinions.
Yeah.
On some things.
Well, I know that you and I have talked about this. I know that we already don't feel the same way about how the series ended, but I'm curious to see where Ryan is, because I feel like
he
of
could
the
be
3 of
somewhere
us,
in between.
Uncharted is his game. Yeah.
I feel like Ryan might end up somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Where we're at.
I could agree with that. But we'll see. Stay tuned.
So what did you play, Matt?
The same stuff I already said.
Just WWE, pretty much?
Yeah, and just, thinking about other stuff. I didn't set out to play any games this week. I just kind of, had other stuff going on with looking for cars. I bought a new gun and gearing up for vacation, stuff like that. So
gotcha.
We're coming to New York on June 7th.
The city?
Yeah, we're gonna be in the city. We're staying in Hoboken for 4 days, and then
the fuck are you going?
So
to
we'll be going. That's where my buddy from high school lives. So
okay.
we'll be staying there and then traveling into the city.
It's about the only reason to go to Hoboken.
Yeah, it's cheaper than staying
in
the city, but it's still close enough to the city to get there. And then from there we're gonna go to Pittsburgh and visit her family. So we're just kind of making sure we got our shit together for that, and making sure that all of our ducks are in a row. And I've been making sure that work was ready for me to be gone for a week so that I don't have to get any phone calls about shit that I don't care about.
You could turn the phone off. That's what I do.
Might, emergency stuff might need it.
Not if you don't know about it. It's not an emergency.
That's true. That's how I feel about it already. I always leave a note on the counter. It says my day off, call somebody else. So we'll see how tomorrow goes with Memorial Day being here. I'm sure somebody will call me with something stupid that they already know the answer to, but whatever.
Could happen.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world? What's in the games news? Are we talking about anything today?
It looks like there might be a new Xbox One in the works. So it's being called codename Scorpio, but it seems internally they're referring it to the Xbox One 2.
So the Xbox 12 or the 1-2?
The 1-2.
Like Mario.
I wish it was the 1-TOO.
Right, or the Xbox One TOO.
One also.
The Xbox.
Do you think
the Xbox One as well?
Right.
The
Do you
one
think
in addition to the one that's already
1-2 is they're hinting at
they should
a
call it
partnership with
Xbox
Nintendo?
One more.
They could.
They should just drop it all. Just stop making Xboxes.
So multiple sites have reported this week that Microsoft is working on multiple consoles. The first is a slimmed-down Xbox One that could be announced at E3 and actually out later this year. The second, perhaps, is the more interesting development, is that Microsoft's apparently planning a new Xbox One that is 4 times more powerful than the current model, and it should be more powerful than the rumored Neo, or at least what we know of the Neo, if what leaked about the Neo was true. The new Xbox One is targeted to run at 6 teraflops.
Whatever that means.
If that's true.
I know what they're implying.
It represents more than a 4-fold computational upgrade over the standard Xbox One, and also mean it was 3 times faster than the current PS4. In comparison, the Neo, the leaked stats for the Neo said it would run at 4.1 teraflops.
Which these two numbers of 6 teraflops and 4.1 teraflops are entirely arbitrary because they don't tell you what's running those numbers.
But listen to the teraflops.
Yeah, systems don't just run teraflops. I believe they're referring to the GPU.
If I said, Matt, you could have 4.1 teraflops or you could have 6 teraflops.
It doesn't mean anything.
You're taking 6
what are you
teraflops.
Talking about? Right. What are you talking about?
Always more.
What's performing? No, not necessarily.
Always more.
Not necessarily. Right. I assume they're talking about the GPU because this is something that's normally measured in teraflops. So let's go there. The problem is if we're only talking about the GPU and the RAM's dog shit and there's bottlenecks elsewhere, the teraflops don't fucking matter. So it's a completely arbitrary number that doesn't mean anything. So take those numbers with a grain of salt.
People want more. I don't think you understand.
Right, they just want higher numbers. They want more Gs.
Yeah,
all the Gs you
That's
got.
what I'm trying to explain to you. They want more flops.
No, yeah, I get it. You know what pisses me off about this entire story? This console cycle that we're in right now, the PS4 and the Xbox One, is complete shit. It's for nothing. It's a money grab. It's the console equivalent of a HD remaster. It was a money grab to put the PS Neo, which is the intention for the PS4, and the Xbox One Scorpio, which is the actual intention for the Xbox One, out. There's no reason to do this otherwise, and you can tell very quickly by looking at how fast they're trying to put these new consoles out, and at the games library on both fucking consoles. Less than 60 proprietary games per console, and then
disc release?
Yeah, and then countless reboots and remasters on disc release from the previous console cycle. The console cycle that we're in right now is nothing but a cash grab to get people to buy the games that they already paid for on the last cycle, a new system in between what they intended to release. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's great that they're coming out with this, but we didn't need the PS4 and the Xbox One when they came out. If this was the plan, we didn't need those two consoles when they came out.
Further within the Polygon report, the publication claims universal compatibility, which will be the core principle of the Xbox One, the new Xbox One, meaning the new system will support all previously released Xbox One games. The crucial unanswered question, though, is whether the original Xbox One will support games designed specifically for Scorpio. So a lot of the same questions that came up when the Neo was first announced.
Right. Which were answered very quickly. Sony came out and said it'll be just one game, and depending on which system you put it in, it'll be like running on a PC. You'll get different graphics.
Now, the concern that immediately jumps front and center for me is you may now potentially be talking about developers needing to make 4 versions of a game.
Right.
Let's not worry about the NX. Let's not worry about the PC. Just to get it on PS4 and Xbox One, they're going to have to QA 4 versions of this game.
Yeah.
That's time, that's money, that's employees, that's... I just...
Which... And everybody... I know that people say that... we've said it before, too, that, if they just upscale them, then it'll be fine because they'll be made at the top level. That's how they'll be created. And then they'll just upscale or downscale, whatever, to the lower level, like a DVD to a Blu-ray. But the problem is that that's not all that goes into all of this. There's also the manufacturing of discs, the manufacturing of cover art, the manufacturing of cases, shipping. You're shipping. Let's see. Best case scenario, you're shipping 4 times as many. Worst case, you're shipping 2 times as many. So all that affects money too, and that's all going to come up in a pocketbook. And I'm still worried about the same thing about splitting the splitting the gamer demographic.
You see it with PC whenever, certain games don't work with certain graphics cards.
Right.
It's not as simple as just saying we got two versions that'll work with both. Like, you have to test on both.
Right.
And I think there are some publishers and some developers developers specifically just won't be able to keep up with this. Like, the idea of having to make 4 versions of a game that you're trying to release and you probably barely can afford to release, I worry what this will do to some of the little guys.
And, well, not only that, but now, instead of putting all that manpower into, say the Xbox One and the PS4 version of the game, you put all that manpower into the testing and getting it out, well, now you've got to double that. So something's going to get lost somewhere, because they're not going to be able to spend the kind of money that's going to take. So now do we start seeing glitches slip through the cracks, bugs, broken games? Are we going to see that get even worse now? I mean, but are we going to see it get worse? Because that time is now, but instead of the 2 games, it's now separated between the 4 games.
I think what we're going to see is more in between games, more reboots and remasters. While we're waiting on the actual games to come out, we're going to see a bunch more shit like this Batman Arkham combination that's coming out. And reading this report and some of what's written up here, to me, this is a very clear picture that this is the end of consoles as we see them now, right? Of the fixed console. This is the end of that, because consumers won't support every 2 years I need to go out and spend $500 on a brand new PlayStation. Consumers won't fall. This will be the first and last time that this ever gets tried. We will either go back to the 8-year console cycle, which makes sense, let the technology come out, let the developer mature into it, push the system to the end, come out with the next one, or we will see completely modular consoles after this, because nobody is... I don't see this being successful. I see them selling consoles, making money, and monetarily they may come out in the black, but between developers having a hard time QAing games, between consumers having a hard time deciding where their loyalties lie with price range now, and with them burning people who already spent $500 on their consoles that came out on launch day, and now they're asking to spend another $400 to $500 on the brand new version of the exact same fucking thing. To me, they won't get away with it twice.
I'm with you on that. I agree. They're just I agree with you on that.
I don't see any good coming from this report. Now, it's going to be cool if you haven't bought an Xbox One and you've been sitting on the fence, and then Scorpio is going to come out and you go buy one, and there's something more powerful in it that makes sense to go get. Like, I get that.
But here's the difference. Here's the difference. I know they're talking, and I'm sure that in their minds they're thinking, well, people upgrade their PCs all the time. Yeah, but
it's not to this extent.
Not to. You can get a decent graphics card for $120.
I still think, though, that most people that play consoles want
as opposed
this.
To spending $500.
They want to not do this, though. That's why they play consoles. They want to not deal with this.
Right, but if we're gonna upgrade the entire box on the same cycle that we would upgrade 2 modular components out of our PC, make the console modular. If the point is that every 18 months to 4 years we're going to upgrade one part in there, which is clearly what we're looking at here. We're talking about a graphics processor upgrade on the Xbox One, right? If every 18 months to 4 years we're going to upgrade a graphics processor, make the graphics card modular, right? Make the cost marginal and optional. Don't make it a brand new fucking console. Number one, don't waste the money on your end, right? If you're the guy making the console, don't go, man, we need to put all this money into manufacturing a brand new thing with a brand new processor in it. Now we're gonna make brand new marketing. Now we got to go out and do all these new interviews. We got to make a big E3. Fucking just make a new processor module and make it hot swap. So that you turn the console off, you open the tray, you put the new one in, you turn the console on, and it works. It's simple enough to do.
I mean, I definitely think it has to be that, but this console wasn't built for that.
To go back
to
your original point, Ryan, about you're right. console gamers, for the most part, don't want to deal with that. The problem is when their only other option is to spend another $500 rather than $120 and a little bit of time.
Right.
But I'll tell you, at the point I'm at now, I would rather spend $500 more until they can make what Matt's talking about. Until they can make it where all I got to do is take a cover off, slide that port out, slide a new one in. I would rather spend another $500 until we get to that point.
But it is that right now. Like on your PS4 with the hard drive, dude, it is that right now. It costs $100 extra.
But it's not to do the other things. You can do the hard drive that easy.
Right. But if you can make the hard drive that easy, you can make the rest of it that easy.
Right, but until they do, I would rather have to spend $500 because I don't want to fuck with it.
Right, but that's the thing is, this is the last time that they'll do this multiple consoles in a cycle thing. I think at this point, if what they're trying to do is make a way to upgrade the video card every 18 months, they have to make the consoles modular, or they have to go back to the old way. There's no doing this twice. Nobody's going to drop $1,200 every 3 years to Sony and Microsoft to buy the same thing twice. Just for an upgraded graphics processor.
And I also wonder the way this news is released. Like, if you're Microsoft, I assume you didn't want it to come out like this, because why on earth would I buy this slimmed down Xbox One if you just told me there's a new one coming?
Right.
Exactly.
It's the same thing we ran in with Sony. Sony lost, $400 and some odd from me because the Neo news came out. They'll get it out. I mean, they'll get it back at some point, but they would have had it back in, beginning of this month when the Uncharted bundle came out.
Yeah.
Because I had pre-ordered it, I'd paid on it, I was going to buy it, and I just did not get it because I couldn't, in my head, justify buying one if there's a new one coming out. So I think that they killed the sales prematurely on this slim Xbox One if the Scorpio news is true, because why would you do that?
Right. I mean, they're trying to satisfy... They're trying to create a market they're trying to make a different solution to a market problem that exists, right? Like, how can we make this investment last longer? They're trying to solve that problem. They're just doing it the wrong way. They need to look at their PC counterparts and not like a console cycle, but at a PC component cycle. That's the exact way they need to be looking at it. What scares me more is if it's successful and this is the way that consoles go. I will probably stop buying consoles, especially at launch. The PS4 is the last console I'll ever buy on launch day because of this, because of Xbox One 2 and PS4 Neo. This is the last time Sony or Microsoft or anybody will ever have me buying a console at launch, because I'm not going to buy a console and then 18 months later to 2 years later be told, hey, for the same price that you spent on that, you can get a better one.
Right.
There's no way that...
I mean, I've had a lot of experiences in these last 3 years, though. It's not like you just had it and got screwed over. I mean, I've had tons of experience.
Hey, I have too, man, but I'll tell you what, I had the exact same experiences on my PS4 that I did on my PS3 up to this point, because half the games in the fucking drawer are games that I already owned on my PS3 with graphical improvements, right? Nobody really needed to buy... There are not games on the PS4 that made the PS4 worth buying at launch, and there still aren't games on the PS4 that make the PS4 worth going out and buying. I'll stand by that all day. Same thing for Xbox One. There's not a game that you have to have on those consoles and make those consoles better than the PS3 or the Xbox 360 at this point, because the exclusives library on the last console cycle blows the entire library for both of these consoles out of the fucking water. And the graphical improvements, sure, they're there, but really the box is improved on social networking. That's it. They didn't change gaming. There's nothing new in gaming at this point. And gaming's always going to be gaming with controller and sticks, and that's fine. And there are great games on the PS4, and a lot of people put hard work into those, but there's no reason to own one yet.
I disagree with that, but yeah, I mean, I just think I do see where you're coming from, but I do think that that's going to be up to each consumer. I've had my money's worth out of my PS4 already.
I own 4 games that are PS4 exclusives that I can't get anywhere else.
But just because you can get them somewhere else doesn't mean that you didn't enjoy them on the PlayStation.
Right.
No, that's fine, but most of what's in this drawer came out on PS3 also, is a remaster from PS3, or came out on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. With Uncharted 4, and dude, that's it. That Uncharted 4 may be the only game that I own, and Batman Arkham Knight. Those are the only two what I would call quote-unquote next-gen games in this entire drawer. Drive Club is exclusive to PS4, so there's 3, right? Out of 30 games that are sitting right here. There are 3 games that I can't get somewhere else. What the fuck's the point in owning a PS4?
Well, I have a lot more than that in my library. So again, it comes down to like what the consumer itself.
I enjoy a lot of games on my PS4 that I'm not able to get on the PS3 and such. Last year my game of the year was Life is Strange. It's only available on PS4 on the new gen stuff. It's not available on the old gen stuff. So yeah, I think that comes down to personal preference and what it is, what you are getting out of whatever it is you're experiencing. I've never been a guy to go out and buy a console. I've never had any game that was a console seller for me. That's not how I work. I do my research. I find the console that seems like it's going to fit my qualifications the best, and that's what I purchase. There's never, ever in my 40 years of existence has a game ever come out and I said, ooh, I have to get this because of that.
And every console before PS4, I bought it for a game.
I mean,
so I like the complete other side of the spectrum.
There's a big split of consumer base that does buy based off of one game. I think that does happen.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a PS3 for Metal Gear Solid 4. I bought a PS2 for Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, when I got my PS3, like Uncharted and Last of Us, those were games that made that console.
But I'm not. I
don't have that experience yet.
For me,
3
it's
years
the overall
in.
experience. It's not one game, and I've had that overall experience enough that I think giving them another $400 or $500 is okay for me. Now, on my Xbox One, I look at that differently because I don't feel like I have used the Xbox One enough to justify the purchase of another console. So I wouldn't buy another Xbox One right now. I wouldn't buy the Scorpio.
See, I kind of disagree with your logic on that, though, Ryan. I understand that you've gotten your money's worth. You feel like you've gotten your money's worth out of the PS4. That doesn't mean every 18 months, every 2 years, you should keep spending that money.
It means that I'm okay with it.
That's a disservice to you.
It means I'm okay with it. No, because I don't have to buy it. That's the thing. Like, all this is optional. I don't have to buy it. Sony was clear. Like, everything, it will still continue to work. I don't have to buy it. But if I feel like I've gotten my money's worth and I'm okay upgrading.
Yes, but we don't. I'm still on. I'm talking about the story we're talking about with the Xbox. We don't have enough information yet. So that's what I'm going by. On the PS4, yes, I do understand it, and I've stated that when everything got cleared up. But now, the original concerns I had with the PS4, I now have here with this Xbox.
Oh, and I'm sure that Microsoft will at this point, they'll probably wait till E3, but I'm sure all those answers will be cleared up, if they talk about it at all. And I'm sure it'll be the same thing. I can't see them the same as Sony splitting a consumer base. I can't see them doing that. But my thing is, I have like 10 games for my Xbox One that I've enjoyed, but not on the level that I have enjoyed my PS4. So it's not that I'm just, here's my wallet, take it. It's that I've used it enough and I want another one that I'm okay with it. I guess is where I'm at. I'm not saying it works for everybody, and if you can't afford it, you certainly shouldn't do it.
I mean, I understand that. My problem is that it's not another one. It's
the same
thing. In Sony's
thing.
case, they've already said it's the same thing, just better.
But I want the same thing. Like, I need another one for my house.
It's kind of like
right. I get that. Like, I get where you're coming from. Like, hey, I need a second PS4, right?
I'm not saying like it's a brand new system I gotta have. It's like, I need another one. Why not get this one if it's the reports are true and it's $50
I understand.
higher.
But to me, it's like, okay, I bought this brand new car, but it has cloth seats. Now I want leather seats. Well, it'd be shit if they made me go out and buy a brand new car just so I could get the leather seats. Now there's all kinds of different ways around that, obviously, but that's kind of what this is.
Well, it'd be like 3 years later you wanted the new model with leather seats. People do that.
But the thing is, it's not. It's not a new model. It's the same thing. It just has a little bit of a graphical
model.
upgrade.
It's different. It's going to look different. It's going to be different inside.
No, it's not. Nope. It's not. It's completely the same inside, except for the GPU can handle 4K. The PS4 Neo is a PS4 with an enhanced GPU.
Insane.
No, dude, it is the exact same thing inside with an enhanced GPU. That's all it is. The PS4 Neo is the PS4 runs at like 3 whatever teraflops, and the PS4 Neo is going to run at 4 whatever teraflops. It's the difference in running games at 1080p and at 4K. There's no difference in the console otherwise. There is absolutely nothing different about it.
It's going to have a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player, which doesn't happen.
They already have a 4K Blu-ray player in them.
No, they don't. Your PS4 is not a 4K Blu-ray player.
They already stream in 4K HD.
But that's because of the processor. It's not because of the player.
Right. The Blu-ray player in it's already 4K.
Shit that's different with that system.
Everything in the PS4, it's exact same component all the way fucking down the list until you hit the GPU. It's a 4K Blu-ray player in it. It is 4K streaming capable. The only difference is the GPU in that system. The RAM is the same. The MOBO is the same. They're putting the exact same fucking hard drive back in it. It has the same USB ports on the front. The difference in those two consoles is the GPU that they've attached to the motherboard.
How on earth do you know how many USB ports it has? Have you fucking seen one?
If it's going to use the same motherboard, it's going to have the same USB ports.
You have not seen one. You have no idea what it's going to be.
I'm just telling you. It will be the same console, 4K capable because of the GPU, not because of the components they put in it. They're going to upcharge on that console based on a GPU that could have been put in there from the day they made the console. 4K capable GPUs were available when the PS4 was made. They could have put one in at the get-go, just like they could have put in a multiple terabyte hard drive on the day that it came out and saved people the trouble of ever having to upgrade the hard drive.
You don't have to upgrade.
You don't have to, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. If Sony can get people to buy this console by making another thing that people are willing to spend $500, more power to them. But I don't think it's going to work well in their favor in the long run by playing their consumers to be stupid. To assume that everyone that buys a Sony console is going to blindly accept that the next one is somehow different just because it is 4K capable based on one component that they've changed, not everybody will follow suit in that. I see both sides of the story, right? I get your point. You don't want to have to fuck with anything, right? You want to buy the console, you want to plug it up, and you don't want to touch it again other than put a game in there. Dude, and that's perfect. That's what consoles are for. That's how they should be. My argument is if what they're going to do is what they're doing with the Neo, which is to upgrade the GPU and then sell it to us as a brand new car, make the GPU modular. Make the hard drive modular. Accommodate the people who aren't fucking stupid. Accommodate the people
Also, now I have to be stupid because I buy one?
No, let me finish. Accommodate the people. No, dude, no. Accommodate the people who aren't stupid. Accommodate the people who don't want the hassle of changing the component out.
I don't know if that's an answer either, Matt, because now you're talking about 3 new consoles.
No, just make the one console that accommodates guys like Ryan, right? They're going to do their research. They're going to validate spending the money. They just don't want the hassle of it. And you're going to accommodate the grandmas of the world who aren't going to do the research, who are console illiterate, the people who are just going to go buy it because it's new and shiny. Accommodate all 3 markets by making one box that can do all of those things. Very simple to do.
Well, the problem is if you do
never
that,
alienate anybody.
Over time, they don't become the same box anymore. Because if you upgrade this on, if you upgrade whatever on this modular PS4 that you bought, that you don't have to modulate, then the next person who didn't do that, now you're not able to play with those people. So that's not an option either.
The motherboard will always be the bottleneck if you do it that way.
And that's why I think with consoles, you're never going to see modular, because you do that, they're no longer consoles. They are upgradable gaming machines.
Just pick
machine
2 things, right? What are the 2 things that need to be upgraded on the console to make it better? The hard drive, the GPU, potentially the RAM, right? But not necessarily the RAM, because really,
what I'm saying is, in order for everybody to be playing on the same level, all those consoles have to be the same. If one person, if you start making changes to them, then something's going to happen. Those consoles are no longer all the consoles in the world will no longer work together. Yes, necessarily. No. You're wrong.
No,
you're
make
wrong.
the hard drive modular. You make the graphics processor modular, right?
The GPU.
Nobody can be wrong. It's an opinion.
The GPU is going to be dictated by the motherboard, right? There's a point where the GPU will no longer suit the motherboard, and that's when you upgrade the console, right? but you may get 4 cycles of GPU in there. The difference between a graphics processor when it comes to putting a game in the system is in frames per second and graphical fidelity. It doesn't have anything to do with playability, components in the game that can or cannot be there. What it changes are like rendering distances, whether or not there's fog and atmosphere and like if there's like small minute lighting differences. Frames per second, stuff like that gets changed by the graphics processor, right? Not the parts of the game. So if you want it to look better and you want to be able to store more things over time, you make those two things modular, right? Like a PC. It's like being able to go from the lowest settings to the highest settings. The game's the same, but it will visually appear differently if you upgrade the GPU over time. That means that a game that comes out at the launch of the console and a game that comes out at the end of the console can be made exactly the same, because the GPU doesn't change whether or not the game runs. It changes what it looks like when it runs. If you're talking about wanting to change whether or not it runs, you're talking about changing the GPU, the motherboard, and the RAM all at the same time. Those 3 components have to be changed together, and so the CPU on the motherboard more in particular. Now you're getting into PC territory, but make the hard drive and the GPU modular, and you really have the opportunity to say, hey, when it comes out, it's going to look great with what's in their stock, right? But in 2 years, we're going to release a GPU. It's going to make this thing look like a Corvette, right? You're going to be able to have all this polish. You're going to have all this specular lighting. You're going to have all these things and details in your games that you never saw before. And maybe that's a reason to go back and play all your games. And we don't need to make HD remakes anymore, because changing that GPU gives you those graphical upgrades, right? It allows you to access more texture fidelity in the game, right? That's a smart move to me in consoles, because now you've just satisfied all of the market. You've satisfied the moms of the world buying it for the kids who don't know anything, the kids who are going to want to upgrade it later, the PC gamers who want to come to console, the Ryans of the world who want to have the best, biggest next thing because they love gaming and gaming history, but they don't want to mess with changing parts, right? They don't want to mess with like, geez, I don't want to have to take out screws. I don't have to open this up. I just want to plug and play. And then everybody is taken care of, right? And then you can release like, hey, here's the base console, but you know what? We went ahead and included this GPU in this package over here, and it costs $100 more. So you save $50 on buying the GPU out separate. You don't have to remarket anything. You don't have to alienate anybody. You don't have to make anybody.
It wasn't built that way.
The PS4 wasn't.
Right, they can't do that now. It wasn't built that way.
Right. And so what I've been saying the whole time is this will be the last time that they're going to get away with this. The next console that they put out, the PS5, for instance, or the Xbox 2 or whatever the shit Microsoft calls it, that would be the way to go. Make it modular in a way that you don't alienate any consumer, and you create that long console life cycle again, but make it so that there are upgrade steps that make people think that they're getting a better thing over the course of that time. So that you don't have what PS2 was, which is 9 years ago, and man, this is looking great, but PC gaming is just beating our asses. Like, how good does that look? I wish we had that on console, right? Like, you avoid that again. That's all I'm saying. It makes more sense to me to do it that way. Probably saves the company a bunch of money. Probably saves them losing customer base.
I just don't think that's not it. I mean, that's rainbows and butterflies because we're not there. Neither one of these systems were built that way.
And I understand what you're saying about that, Matt, but you're also a PC guy who does upgrade your PC. I don't want to fuck with that shit.
It's got to be so simple.
I don't want to buy a new console either.
It's got to be me going to the store and them saying, here's graphics card 1, 2, and 3. 3's the best, 2's the second best, 1's what you come with.
And why can't the next console cycle be that easy?
But that's not what we're talking about now, because these systems weren't built that way.
Right, but that's my reaction to what we're looking at right now.
We could go there, but right now we're talking about two systems that are going to cost more, that are upgrades on the thing that's already there.
Right, and I'm talking about how bad of an idea I think that is.
I don't know that it's a bad idea yet, because neither of them have come out yet. I don't know enough about any of them to know whether it's a good or bad idea.
It's a good idea for me. Because I am going to get another one. It's a good idea for me.
I understand that.
And that's the crux of my argument. It's a good idea for you. It's maybe an idea for Dan, and it's an absolute no from me. Why not make it a yes from all of us?
I have no use for two PS4s.
Never a yes for everybody.
I just presented an argument as to how it could be yes for everybody.
No, you can't. Like, you don't know everybody. That's the thing. You can't say that. You can never present an argument that's a yes for everybody because you don't know everybody. I would prefer to never have to upgrade at all. I would prefer the one that comes out to fucking run all the way through. We don't use this console anymore.
Like it used to?
But if it's not going to happen that way...
But if it's modular, it can still be that way.
No, that's me doing something. I want to fucking take it out of the box and not take another one out of the box until I'm finished.
I think
if it's modular, you can plug it in and never change it. And if you want to, you can upgrade it.
Same thing for now. You don't have to upgrade.
I think here's kind of what my problem with all this is these consoles have been around for 2 years? Less than 2 years? 2 years. And already I'm having to spend that much money. Okay, 3 years. And then now, it used to be you spent money for the slim version or a bigger hard drive. Now there's more changes going on with this money that has to be spent every 300 years. It can affect you, and it can affect your experience. It's not necessarily going to, but it can. Having a bigger hard drive, having a smaller casing for your system, for your console, isn't going to affect your experience. This could affect your experience. It could look better. It could. Anyway, it just either way, it affects the experience. To want somebody to do that every now 2 or 3 years is a little alarming to me. It'd be different if it was just a slimmed down version, or if it was just the bigger hard drive. But I don't like when like Matt was talking about the 8-year console, or the 8-year cycle, the 9-year cycle. I don't want to get into a 3-year cycle. I mean, I can't afford a 3-year cycle. And I'm not scrounging for food. So, I can't afford a 3-year cycle. Or a 2-year cycle.
I'm not interested in a 3-year cycle. I
understand that there's better technology out there, but the whole point of a console has always been to get the most out of the technology that is there and push it to its limits and maximize what you can do with it. That, to me, that's the point of a console. It's not supposed to look as good as a PC. It's not supposed to have to be upgraded every 18 months or 3 years or whatever, or some major change made to make it look better or play better or more RAM, whatever. That's not what a console is to me. A console to me is an 8-year gaming machine that continues year by year, day by day, to push the limits of the technology available in it. Maybe that's probably an old school way of thinking, but that's my problem with these kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with where you're at, Dan, in that the idea of it is that to be removed from PC. Right? The idea of console is to take is exactly what Ryan's saying, is take the fucking hassle out of it.
And I do, but at the flip side of that, I understand why Microsoft and Sony want to do this. I'm just not certain that it's right for the consumer.
If you're taking the hassle out of upgrading components and making the hassle upgrading the entire system in a similar cycle, are you really that far removed from what you're trying to stand apart from, right? If the idea is like, hey, you guys can invest in this machine, and then in 3 years, like, hey, you guys need to upgrade this machine, right? We're going to release the same games, but you want that extra look, you're going to want to upgrade this machine. Sure, you don't have to, right? PC gaming, you don't have to upgrade, but you're going to want to.
Yeah, I get that, but that's
now we're getting away from the nature of console, like you're saying. Now we're getting away from that idea and what Ryan's saying of plug it into the wall and forget about it. Go buy the games. Spend all the money on, instead of upgrades and the minutia of numbers, go buy these awesome games that we're making. Spend your money there, right?
I get that. I mean, we're not there yet either, though. I mean, that's really not a blink in the eye yet. We're
Yeah, but we could be looking at that. That's what these two consoles are potentially pointing towards, right? Like every 3 years they want us to have $500, $400 or $500 extra dollars to spend on a console instead of $400 or $500 extra dollars to buy their games.
If you've got the console, you're going to buy the games. I mean, that's going to happen. Once the hardest part's going to be getting the consoles out.
Or if you're a developer,
people are going to buy the games they have.
What if you're a game developer or a game publisher and you go, all right, well, here comes the PS5, but, man, let's hang off till we get that debug PS5 Neo.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll just make our game for that.
Too. I mentioned that earlier. So it's gonna affect publishing and developing and all of that. And the costs are going to have to go to the consumer, really.
Yeah, this is a great little experiment to see how ready console people are for a quick cycle upgrade, and it's they're dipping their toes in the water. I don't think it's going to go the way they think it's going to go. I think people are too smart for this, so we'll see.
They got to be dummies to buy it. That's a ridiculous argument.
I don't know about that either. I mean, that's a little harsh.
It's.
I mean,
I don't consider myself stupid, and this is a really good idea for me. So I think your logic is broken right there.
I don't consider
we're gonna
you
move
stupid.
on.
I think that you don't want to do anything.
We got to move on.
I think, yeah.
So we plan to spend a long time talking about the Xbox Scorpio.
So we're going to run through these real quick? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, so we're just going to go through some of these headlines. I think they're important for you guys to know, but we're not going to spend much time on them.
All right. Firstly, No Man's Sky, the ambitious-sounding PS4 and PC game, is no longer coming out in June as previously expected. It is now scheduled to release on August 9th in North America, August 10th in Europe, and August 12th in the UK. Sean Murray announced this in a PlayStation blog post just a few days ago. I'm not sure I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not either. Yeah,
I don't like the staggered release.
Yeah,
I think you just pop that out everywhere August 12th and just...
we get it first. I'm fine.
It appears that the PS4 continues to rock out with its cock out because they just passed 40 million, and that's units sold, not units shipped.
Not units shipped, right.
That is crazy.
A lot of the analysts say that it is still tracking to eclipse that 100 million consoles sold by the time it's done. But of course, it gets tricky when how do you break down the Neo versus this? Does that all go into one? I don't know what they'll do with it, but yeah, 40 million. That's pretty big.
That's insane. And going right along with that, Uncharted hit 2.7 million copies in its first week. This is sold, not shipped, and this also includes digital and retail sales as of May 16th. So they're fucking killing it right now.
That's a weird story because Sony very rarely ever puts out sales data like that.
Right.
Well, unless they're kicking ass, yeah.
I mean, they just don't talk about game sales.
They don't talk about numbers.
Yeah, they don't talk about game sales. I thought this was a weird story just to come out and say, "Hey, look at."
It's their big boy. It's their big boy for the console. It's Uncharted 4, PS4. Like that's kind of their thing. So, I don't know. To me, it makes sense. Like I get it. They don't do it for every game, but to me, Uncharted 4 would be the game that you do it for. They put so much into it.
I guess.
Yeah.
And let's see. Lastly, 10,000 more Final Fantasy, whatever fucking number that is, 15 Ultimate Collector's
yeah, that's it.
editions went on sale on Monday, and they sold out.
I don't understand Final Fantasy fans.
But okay.
I give them credit, though, because that franchise has been through some shit.
And they fucking stick.
Man, they're loyal.
Yeah.
On a level that I think most franchises don't ever even begin to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're probably the pinnacle right up there with Persona. Those people are just bad for their games.
WoW to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Even when WoW pisses off its entire player base, they still take it.
Right.
Yeah. So they just chew it up and keep playing.
I mean, people can't get enough of Final Fantasy, and it doesn't seem to matter the missteps they make. They're Final Fantasy drunk. So,
everybody's got
I don't know. Good for them.
My strange addiction.
So, we had a contest 2 weeks ago. You fine, lovely people weren't able to follow the directions. So, no one won. Last week, we did it again. This time, apparently, some of you can read and or listen.
We got us a winner.
keep in mind, we were giving away the digital copy of Doom 1 for Xbox One, supplied by our friend Garrett Wade, and we got a winner, Matt.
Yeah, it was picked at random. So what I did was I just put everybody who retweeted and followed into just a little shuffler. First name that came out was the winner. So drum roll, right? Anybody? Right. The winner of a copy of Doom 1 digital for Xbox One is at Lively Mantis. So we will be DMing you over Twitter just to confirm, and then we will send you the digital code for that as soon as this podcast goes live. Maybe even today, which is Sunday, the day before Memorial Day.
So if you're listening to this podcast and you say, that chaps my ass, I wanted to win.
Don't worry.
Thought I was going to win. You're in luck. We have a new contest. Doomsday TOO.
Also.
Yes. That's what this one's called. Doomsday also. We're giving away a copy of Doom 2 digital for Xbox One. So what do you got to do to win this one, you say? Is it complicated? Are we going to be able to figure it out? Are we too dumb because we're buying the PS4 Neo? No. All you have to do is send us a question. That's it. Just a question about anything. Life, video games, our personal hygiene, whatever you find interesting. And you can do it any way you can contact us. Carrier pigeon, smoke signals, podcast@gamestitch.com. Hit us up on Twitter individually or at game_stitch. We don't care. Get the question to us. If we get a question from you, you are entered.
Hashtag is DoomTOO on that so that we can sort those, please.
Right. So if you're using Twitter, try to use that hashtag. But we will do our best to comb through all of those questions. If you send us a big long message and it's fucking hidden somewhere in the middle that there's a question there, we may not realize that. So make sure you're sending us a question that we could read on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's going to end next week, so we record on Sundays. As long as you have it in by Saturday at midnight, then you are entered into this contesty.
Yeah.
I mean, why not win free shit if all you have to do is participate?
Yeah.
Unless we're talking like participating in like a murder or something. I mean, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, this one is easy.
We're not asking you to fry a dick and eat it. We're saying just, send us a question.
Active participant in cannibalism.
Right.
Right.
That's weird. Yeah. Especially if it's your own. Auto-cannibalism's probably the worst.
If you have friends, if you have acquaintances, if you have people that you have seen at Walmart, tell them to send us a question and they might win something free.
Yeah. And who doesn't love free? It's the best price point ever.
I like it.
Except for people giving you money to do stuff. Which then becomes work,
So, reminder, @game_stitch on Twitter, or send an electronic mail to podcast@gamestitch.com. You can also hit us up individually on Twitters. We'll go through those handles at the end of this podcasty.
DoomTOO. Hashtag DoomTOO. Make your subject to your email Doom2 also. That'll make it so easy for us. I expect to get really just one question.
And I hope it just says,
did I win?
Question mark. Or first.
With question mark.
Right.
I hope it's just, did I win? And we have to read that on the podcast.
It's a question.
No. That'd be even better.
Yeah.
Right.
We could read some questions. We could read some questions that didn't win.
Yeah, if they're bad enough, we might.
The question, they randomize the questions. We can read some of the questions that didn't win. Be like, did I win? No. Next question.
Here's the thing about random, though. A bad question could win.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
there are no bad questions in this competition.
Right. Exactly.
So... All right, it's time for my favorite segment, Gone But Not Forgotten, where we reach back in our gaming past, we dust off an old classic, and we just shove it right in your face. And you take it because you remember it, or maybe you want to remember it. Dan, I think it's your turn.
It is my turn. Developed by High Moon Studios, published by Capcom in 2005.
Oh, man, there's a build-up right now.
For the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. This week's Gone But Not Forgotten is Dark Watch, Curse of the West.
Didn't think you were going with that, gotta be honest.
No?
I didn't know what it was. The build-up was there.
I know.
The payoff, a little light.
You were excited, though, weren't you? It was a little anticlimactic when I announced.
So, I barely remember Dark Watch. Did I have a guy on the front wearing a hat?
Yeah. And holding two big guns?
I don't even remember the guns. I just remember he had a goofy hat on, and it was like maybe purple.
No, it's black. He's all dressed in black.
Yeah, but is the game purple?
The box has like purple lighting behind, moonlighting.
Yeah, I remember selling that thing.
So it's
never played it.
It is there. Yeah. Released in 2005, Dark Watch, Curse of the West, first-person shooter for the PlayStation and Xbox. It mixes Western, horror, and steampunk genres. You play as Jericho Cross, an outlaw gunfighter in the 19th century American frontier. He's turned into a vampire, and he gets bitten by a vampire, and then accidentally lets the vampire go, or the vampire gets away, and it turns out the vampire's like the baddest vampire on the planet. So the secret organization of vampire hunters called Dark Watch now recruit Jericho Cross to go out and fix his fucking mistake. But the problem that they don't know is that Jericho Cross was bitten, so he's slowly turning into a vampire.
Shit, plot twist.
Uh-huh. But what's really cool is it allowed you to make choices. It had a reputation system, kind of similar to KOTOR. So depending on if you decided to fight the darkness or embrace it, you had different skills you were able to use. These were called brands in the game. You had different skills you could use. Ones, like good ones, would allow you to run faster. There were some standard ones, like your blood vision and all that. But some would let you.
I don't know how standard blood vision is.
You don't have that?
Yeah,
I do. You know what I mean? Your variations of night
that old
vision
thing
or blood vision or whatever.
Yeah.
It allows you to just see the enemies in your own.
Right now, I get it.
Eagle eye mode, I guess, in Assassin's Creed. But if you were fighting the darkness, you could do good things, like you could run faster and double jump and things like that. If you were bad, you could actually like explode people and eat their souls. And it had different endings. It had a couple different endings depending on which of those you chose. It was really one of the earliest games to use that reputation different ending mechanic. It's, let's see, I think on the Xbox it actually had a multiplayer mode, 16-player online multiplayer. PS2 did not have the online mode. You could do split screen, but they did have a co-op mode where you just played as the regular, I guess the Dark Watch regulators, I think is what they were called, if I remember correctly. It was a long time ago. Yeah, regulators. They were Dark Watch regulators. And it was a lot of fun. It looked pretty good for a PS2 game, really.
Yeah, it really does. It's very purple.
Yeah, very purple. Very, well, yeah, that's the
I can only speak for the cover of the game, but I remember the cover of the game looking purpley.
It was.
Oh, the game inside
There's a lot of purple
too.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the gameplay is purple. But for a PS2 game, it really did look good. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but it's a different setting from a lot of your first-person shooters at that time. But the steampunk vampire Old West thing. There was parts where you could use a railgun. I remember that. And a neat little twist, even though you were a vampire, during the day you didn't have your powers. Since you hadn't totally turned into a vampire yet, you didn't get fried by the sun. But all you could use were your guns and such. You couldn't use any of those powers because the sun's out. So that was a neat little twist. And depending on how you played, really, or how you wanted to play with your reputation system, really did determine how you played that game. It gave you, some multiple choices to make. So it was really a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. If you haven't played it, if you still have a PS2, check it out. If not, I would look at some gameplay on YouTube. It's a really fun game. I'm not a first-person guy, but I had a lot of fun with this game just because of the supernatural Western elements of it. I like that stuff, and I don't get a lot of games like that. So, if you're into that, you should definitely check it out.
It looks like it reviewed really well, actually.
It did. It reviewed very well. It was received very well by the critics.
Yeah. Wow. You can definitely tell it came out when that movie Van Helsing came out with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But, it was actually, like 8 out of 10 everywhere.
And it's never really been explained what happened, because it was It was very heavily promoted. It did very well. It was actually planned to be a franchise, an actual media franchise, movies, merchandise, all that. But the sequel got canceled in 2007. Film adaptation got stuck in development hell, and nothing else ever became of it. And I don't know why. Nobody seems to know why. So that's this week's Gone But Not Forgotten, Dark Watch, Curse of the West.
Good pick.
If you've got a Gone But Not Forgotten of your own, hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag GBNF. Gone But Not Forgotten. We'd love to hear what you guys remember from the past that you think we should remember. Remember. Never forget. Follow us on the social medias. We are at game_stitch. I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Tellhurst2002. And Matt is at Podcast Matt. You can always email us podcast@gamestitch.com. Be sure to rate us on whatever podcast service you use, whether that be iTunes, Google Play, which we should be up on, Stitcher, SoundCloud, however you listen, wherever you listen. Make sure you give us a rating on there. It helps other people find this beautiful podcast so we can keep making this sweet ear noise for you.
Beautiful.
I don't know if you guys know this, but somebody wrote in with a Gone But Not Forgotten on Twitter back on May 24th.
I had that pulled and forgot. You have it?
Yeah. Our buddy at Jake_Cost with a K wrote in and reminded us of Jet Moto on PS1.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Which, fantastic game. Kind of. Not terrible, but I remember putting some hours into it, so yeah, man, good choice, for sure. That's one they should bring back now with better graphics, and now they have better physics engines and stuff.
Jet Moto.
Or Wave Race. I'd be into Wave Race.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'd be more into Wave Race. But call it Jet Moto, right?
No,
but
call it
Wave
Race.
Race.
Call it Wave Race.
Yeah.
Call it Wave Race 64.
I feel like jet ski racing is
also
a thing that didn't take off like it should have.
Oh, it took off in my house, man. I don't know about yours.
I mean, in general, in life.
Thing.
Like, do people do jet ski racing?
I'm sure they do, but it should be on TV.
With, like, jumps and shit like that?
Yeah, and fucking tricks.
Backflips. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you be that fat and still compete?
I would think so.
That Teal guy?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Dude,
no, that was the guy I always picked.
Yeah. Me too, because he got deeper in the water, which made him shoot out higher.
Yeah, he was the fastest one, but he couldn't
I saw this video this week
shit.
with this guy who weighs 260 pounds did a fucking backflip.
Sounds right.
I don't even know
Athleticism knows no boundaries.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that. We end each and every episode with a segment we like to call One Final Thing with Uncle Dan. This week is no different.
That's true. We're going to get a little serious here, a little deep. As many of you know, this is the Memorial Day weekend. During your barbecues and all that, just take some time to remember some of the fallen soldiers out there that gave their blood so you didn't have to. As I am an ex-military veteran, as a member of the United States Navy, as some of you know, and now all of you know, this week I would like to read the Sailor's Prayer in honor of some of my fallen brethren. You guys okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Go right for it, buddy. Yep.
Lord, hear my prayer. Send your angels to guard well we sailors serving in your fleet. Protect us from harm or defeat. Give us guidance and wisdom to pursue diplomacy instead of war, peace instead of hatred, life over death. When I die, permit me appear first at your gate. Allow the devil to think I am late, and before he realizes his mistake, grant me entrance and assign me to serve life eternal in your heavenly fleet. And that is the sailor's prayer.
Very cool. Have a safe Memorial Day. Remember what it's for. You guys be careful, be safe, have fun. Listen to this podcast. Don't forget the Doom also sweepstakes. Doom TOO. And
Doom TOO.
I think that's it. I think we nailed it.
Good show.
We'll be back next week, same time.
I was going to pull the plug out right now. Wow.
A girthy show, I think you mean.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Girthy? Is that
Girthy
where we're going?
show.
Stocky?
Like a Coke can around.
Is it stocky?
Oh, my God.
Was it a stocky show?
A husky? I think that's what some of my pants say.
Yeah, maybe. Not to be confused with the dog breed. That's not what we mean.
Right.
Like a stomped Coke can, dude. Just real wide, but real flat.
Like a serving plate.
Like a fucking big gulp.
Ooh, a big gulp.
Just the top, though. Just the cap that goes on it, though.
Goddamn right.
Nothing's going in. Not because it can't fit, though.
So, Dan left you with a serious gauntlet, not forgotten. I'm going to leave you with a silly one.
All right.
Gentlemen, if you're shooting out dick pics to your lady friends, get those really small Coke cans.
You mean Final Thought? Go ahead.
Yeah. Get those little tiny Coke cans. Those really little ones. You seen those?
Yeah, they have like shots in them.
Yeah, like a shot of cola. Put that up against your manhood. And then send that out, because that looks way more impressive.
Right, that way she can hate
actually,
you.
I feel
when
like
you take
it's going to
your
look
pants off.
really hot if your hand happens to be in there anyway.
No, you're gonna have to keep your hands out of it. You're gonna have to put the Coke can on something and then lay your man jug on something.
Now you've got to be
strap
an
it
artist
to your boner with
and
electrical
figure
tape,
out
dude.
perspective and all that stuff. You got to figure out where to put your hand. So
You always shoot down. You always shoot down. You can't shoot up because your fucking weird ass face will be in there.
My God, is this still about video games or is it about you sending dick pics?
Look, Dan hit him with some serious. I want to hit him with some sexual serious. You know.
All right, or something that might get them a sexual assault
If
charge.
someone says no, don't send it to someone that doesn't want it. But if someone's like, "Hey, bro, show me that junk," and you're like, "Okay,"
I kind of feel like that's where like 85%
wait,
of the dick pics go
how
to.
many of your
though.
dude friends have
People
been
who
like,
don't
"Hey,
want
bro,
them.
show me that junk"?
Right.
They're like, "Hey, pull out your man sword," and I want to see it, and I'm like, "Okay." You know,
That
you
never
want to
happens.
you want it to seem
What's wrong with you? That doesn't
you
happen.
want it to seem like the size is right.
I feel like you're confusing the message you're receiving.
You want to seem like
Right.
the size is right, and you can't put it next to something like if they're like, "Hey, like throw a quarter next to it so I can see where you're at."
There's been some serious miscommunication somewhere.
And you know that it's going to look small. You need to find a way to make that, to correct that. So I'm just saying, guys, you got small junk, use a small can, and that's going to help.
Okay.
It doesn't
Don't
work
call
if
me-
you're packing around a sweet potato. You understand?
Don't call me.
But if you have a smaller one already,
No, do
Don't-
it then. It's even better.
Don't call me for bail, okay?
Yeah.
no, you do it to people that ask for it.
Nobody asked for them.
Sometimes they don't.
Right,
They
like-
don't come out and say it, but their eyes say they want. it.
Like your
Yeah.
friends, they'll be like, "Hey,
Yep.
bro, let me see that dick," and you're like, "Sure thing, man."
And that's how prison sentences happen, my friend.
Have a
What
safe
the-
weekend, or a safe Monday, I guess, when this podcast comes out. And go to work on Tuesday. Don't be a piece of shit and call out.
Man, I ain't going.
Don't be that person who's like, "Oh, I'm just not feeling well." Yeah, I bet.
I'm already poised with a personal day.
Yeah.
To be fair, they probably aren't feeling well, but it's not because of any airborne illness.
Well, what I'm
It's
going to
because
tell
they had
them
that
is,
roller coaster.
I'm going to say, well, you know what? You're about to have a lot more time off. Come get your shit, Matt.
You're not my boss.
Right.
Don't
But
tell
I
me.
know her.
Don't tell me.
We text.
All right.
Where do you think I came up with the can idea?
Jesus Christ, that's
Episode 176 or 77. I don't know anymore.
177.
177.
177. Good night.
Good night.
Farewell.